Catholics in Durban have started gathering at Emmanuel Cathedral to pay tribute to Pope Francis following his death on Monday. Mourners across the world have been holding such gatherings to remember the Pope, who served as head of the Catholic Church for 12 years. He's been described by many as a selfless leader who stood for the poor and marginalized. Newzroom Afrika's Phila Mthembu is attending the evening service and joins us now. I would imagine by now, Phila, so many people have already arrived.
Absolutely, Vuyo, and they continue to actually enter here. Right now we are at the Emmanuel Cathedral here in Durban. I'm just going to give you, a picture of my background right now. If you could just see there, I'm going to allow my colleague Sibongiseni Ngubande to show you the pictures of the Pope over there, as well as already some of the congregants seated there with some also candles which have now been lit. You'd remember that even with Catholics from different parts of the country and of course across the world, Vuyo, they have been also reacting to the passing of the Pope, with many of them expressing sadness, but also saying that they, will remember him as the person who was incredibly generous. He was a lover of all people, and he advocated for inclusivity, and he also stood for the marginalized as well. So there's quite a lot which has been said, quite a lot of positivity to be specific. And I'm also going to be engaging shortly with Professor Msomi, who's going to give us a bit of a sense with regards to why we are here today and also the significance behind this. I'm now going to bring him into the conversation to speak about this mass prayer gathering, which is going to be happening here, starting at 6 p.m. this evening. Prof, thank you so much for your time. You are on Newzroom Afrika. For starters, if we could just speak about the significance of this gathering, the mass prayer, which we are here to witness today.
Thank you very much. Good evening to all your viewers. Yes, today here at the Emmanuel Cathedral in Durban, we are gathered today to commemorate the life of our late Pope Francis. We have been called by our Archbishop Jwaga to gather today so that we could mourn the loss of our father, the spiritual father, the loss of our leader, and the loss of our shepherd. As you know, he is now lying in state for 3 days for the viewing. So as the church, we are saying today we are in communion with the universal church during these difficult times to all the Roman Catholic. So as the Emmanuel Cathedral, we are following the rest of the members of the Roman Catholic in the entire world that are currently mourning because of the loss of our Pope. So today, really, the purpose of this Mass is to try and talk about his values, some of them being merciful, being able to talk about all the things that he has been preaching during his homily, because in most cases in his homily, he was always, talking about the Roman Catholic people and the people in the entire world to try and follow in the steps of Jesus Christ so that we become one nation on earth, so that we, encourage and motivate people to understand the message that God brought onto earth by bringing Jesus to us, to die for us, so that the entire world could live in harmony.
And talk to us about how he's specifically going to be remembered according to you.
According to the Archbishop, during the homilies, our priests have been given an assignment of how they should be rendering their homily. And in the processes that they follow in the altar, they have also been given the assignments that talks to the commemoration of the Pope Francis. So in the masses from now going forward, we are going to be following the instructions of the Archbishop, which are part and parcel of commemorating the life of our Pope Francis.
And not so long ago, it was Good Friday. There was, rejoice when it came to observing Good Friday, only for us to get the news on Monday that the Pope has passed on. How has this been for the congregants here?
Well, the way we look at this as the Roman Catholic Church is that the life of our Pope Francis is sort of, symbolizes the life of Jesus, because if you looking at this weekend, as you are talking about this weekend, we were celebrating the death and the risen of the Jesus Christ. And on Monday, Pope Francis passed on. So in a way, we view this as an indication to say that Jesus Christ, when at the time of rising up, he is risen up with our Pope Francis. Actually, we thank God for, taking Pope Francis just after the Easter weekend, because really, if we had received this news before the start of the Easter weekend, I'm of the view that the Roman Catholic people were going to be very devastated, and they will not have enjoyed the preaching of gospel as we usually enjoy during the normal Easter Sundays.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Prof. And there you have it over there for your significance behind today's Mass prayer that we are going to be seeing from 6 o'clock onwards. That is when it is expected to start. We have been told there that the reason why this prayer is happening here is to pay tribute to the Pope, and also reflect on the role that he played, his leadership as well, and it seems to be quite a positive one. Also the significance there when it comes to his passing. We had just come from the long Easter weekend and then his passing on Monday. Also just remembering the significance around that, saying that they are grateful, although it is sad, but they are grateful that he passed away after the Easter on Monday, and also saying that so they are here to actually remember him for everything that he's done and also what he stood for, as well as his faith.
Phila, outside the Emmanuel Cathedral, where of course people are still trickling in very slowly at the moment as they seek to pay a tribute to the late Pope. That service, of course, scheduled to begin at 6 p.m. We will, of course, go back to Phila as soon as we get a chance to. For now, though,